Has it been 4 years since the Miami Heat ruled the basketball world, winning their first ever title as a new star shined on the game's biggest stage? Just 2 years later, a trio of superstars brought Title 17 to the rafters of one of sports' great franchises. With both futures uncertain, these familiar faces face off for the first time in the playoffs. And the playoffs continue. Here on ESPN, best of 7 Eastern Conference opening round, the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics, two teams that are recently minted champions and two finals MVPs of the past, Paul Pierce, circa 08, Dwayne Wade, 2006. Good evening. Welcome to the continuation of the opener for the 2010 playoffs. Mike Tirico, Hall of Famer Hubie Brown, Heather Cox coming along here in a little bit. All right, Hubie, we got the big three in Boston. They put the banner up. We know their legacy. But you ask everybody who the key Celtic guy in this series is. It's not KG. It's not Pierce. It's not Ray Allen. It's Rajon Rondo, they
Absolutely,
said.
Mike. He is the key guy for them because of the energy, the defense, and the creativity in the painted area. He's coming off a great year. The points, first in guards and field goal percentage, fourth in the league in assists, and then first in steals. A banner year.
He's not feeling well. Heather will get into that in a little bit. He doesn't look 100% from watching him warm up. On the other side, Miami, you ask everybody, there's no doubt their most important guy is number 3, Dwayne Wade.
Well, 3-0 in favor of Boston, but Dwayne Wade had monster numbers. Shade under 34. The percentage is there. How about the 5 rebounds? And a shade under 9 assists plus the steals. He's had a great year. First team All-NBA, no doubt about it. And when you look at his numbers, he's in the top 4, not only in scoring, but also in free throw attempts and in steals.
All right, Coach. Our starting lineups tonight, brought to you by Popeyes. Let's start with the visitors from Miami, 47-35 on the year, and better since Carlos Arroyo's become their point guard. With Wade, Quentin Richardson, second-year man Michael Beasley, and veteran Jermaine O'Neal in the pivot. And for the Celtics, 50-32, division champs in the Atlantic, is Rondo, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Kendrick Perkins. And as advertised, here's Heather with more on the illness news for the Celtics.
Indeed, Mike, a stomach virus and upper respiratory infection is coursing through the Celtic team. It started with Tony Allen, then went to Glenn Davis, the latest casualty, Rajon Rondo. He did miss practice yesterday. He was at shoot-arounds this morning, but is fighting dehydration and fatigue. Now, Coach Rivers admitted major concern, telling me without Rondo's speed and energy, he's just not the same player, which is critical considering that after talking to Eric Spoelstra, Dwayne Wade, Paul Pierce, they all consistently agreed Rondo is the key to this series. And Mike, after much sleuthing, the Celtics medical staff have figured out the culprit, the ones that are sick, the ones that play cards together on the team plane. So yes, those cootie cards have been destroyed, and they're replaced with a germ-free deck.
Beware the card games, huh? Well, they've done it for a lot of years in the NBA, and you can't say anything better about the playoffs than playoff game at the Garden in Boston. Game 1, best of 7. The Heat and the Celtics, they're on their feet. Let's get a good one here on day 1 of the playoffs. The Heat in the dark uniforms, we'll start with it. And Carlos Arroyo out of Puerto Rico, played in Israel last year and has been a good insertion to this team the last third of the season. Jermaine O'Neal, the game's first shot. Rebound by Garnett.
A lot of pressure on Miami, Mike, to execute in a half-court game. They're not a high-octane type of a club, so shooting percentage, very important, and getting to the foul line.
Rondo works in the lane, and that's his story for Miami. Can they, Hubie, shut off the top and prevent Rondo from getting inside?
A lot of pressure on Arroyo and then Chalmers. Now, if they cannot handle it, Mike, we'll probably see Dwayne Wade at times play him head-to-head. Sounds easy.
Yeah, right. Go get him. And score 30 for us, by the way, too. Wade kicked it out. Quentin Richardson gets it to O'Neal. Missed his first, made his second as he challenged Garnett. Jermaine O'Neal's been at it a long time, 14 years now in the league. Portland and Indiana, a couple of stops along the way last year, including Toronto and now Miami. Perkins inside. Kendrick challenges Beasley, doesn't get it, and O'Neal's got the board.
Now tonight we're seeing 2 of the better half-court defensive teams in the league. You'll see excellent rotations and a lot of double teaming.
Air ball from Beasley. Here's Pierce, who's feeling as healthy as he has in a while. Garnett and O'Neal with some fighting, and the foul is called. It's going to be on Jermaine O'Neal. Our officials tonight, Joe DeRosa The veteran Dick Pavetta working his 249th all-time playoff game, and Ed Malloy working his 6th. There's Dick, 35 years in the league. He's officiated 3 full regular seasons worth of playoff games. Oh, nice pass, KG to Perkins. Couldn't finish. Lost the call.
Mike, that was all by design. They trapped the pick and roll, and that gives you a 2-on-1 on the baseline in favor of the offense.
Wade threw it away, saved it. What a play by Wade to get his hands on it and keep the possession for the Heat.
There's a lot of pressure on Miami. 2 guys, Beasley and O'Neal, to give you second and third points behind Wade. They've got to shoot a high percentage and stay out of foul trouble.
I don't know how he got that and threw it off of Rondo, but he did. Each team 1 of 3 in the early going. As Hubie mentioned, all 3 regular season games won by Boston, but close games. O'Neal blocked by Perkins, who stepped on the baseline, so it stays down here. Hubie, that's a matchup that in your mind you think Jermaine O'Neal, of course. Kendrick Perkins has outplayed him in the regular season.
Well, Perkins, you have to remember now, is going to be right up there in the top 10, not only in field goal percentage, but in shot blocking. And it plays O'Neal extremely well. Remember now, the games that were won by 7, 6, and 5 points. And it came down to the fact that Miami could not shoot a high percentage, not only from the floor, but in threes and also poorly on the foul line. They get the opportunities. That's why we said, can they execute the half-court offense?
No possession change, so 7 to shoot. It'll be O'Neal for the 3rd time. Second miss.
And he's had good shots right there in front of the basket.
Perkins putting the moves on. Got doubled, and we got 3 seconds. Paul Pierce was hanging out in the lane too long. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's going to be the other way. It'll be on Quentin Richardson, so it'll be a technical on the Heat and a free throw coming for Boston. Hubie, your keys for Miami to win this game in the series?
Well, it's a half-court execution, Mike. You got to shoot a high percentage. And then O'Neal has got to win the matchup with Perkins. In the 3 previous games, Perkins has dominated. Why? Because his man leaves him. O'Neal leaves to help out defensively. Perkins gets himself open and on the offensive board. Wade has got to be at the top of his game. Not just with points, but he gets you 5 to 6 rebounds, and in the assists, he's right up there in the league standing. So he got to give us every night top performance.
Wade was 10th in the league in assists. Rondo the cut. Garnett fed him.
Miami, you can count on trapping, Mike. We've seen it now. They're going to trap you hard. The key is, can you pick out the right passing angle to get the 2-on-1 situation?
Wade called for the travel as he came baseline. Dwayne has not taken a shot yet. There you see Eric Spoelstra, the youngest head coach in the NBA at 39 in his 2nd full season, where he took over for Pat Riley as Pat went back to the president's role. And Spoelstra has taken the Heat to the playoffs both years. They lost last year in the opening round to Atlanta in 7.
Yeah, you got to get this guy going here, right here, Paul Pierce.
Nice duck under on Quentin Richardson to convert, and it's 7-2 Boston.
Mike, in the last 15 games, Paul Pierce is back. He's averaging over 20, and he's shooting over 50%. They'll go to the isolations in the post, foul line extended. Let him go one-on-one.
Beasley comes off the screen at the top, and Michael Beasley, the lefty, knocks it down. Very important player, the number 2 overall pick for the Heat a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah, they need him to have a big game, Mike, in every game, because Garnett is going to be helping out, trying to help out on the defense.
Miami doesn't run much, but they are good in transition. Here's Richardson, a lift and a launch. He missed the 3. Good job by Beasley working inside. And Wade gets fouled, and you can count it. 3-point opportunity coming for Dwayne.
Now you can see the excitement on the Miami bench. They are all up because they realize that this is about second shot attempt. You have 2 of the best defensive rebounding teams in the league and 2 of the best half-court defensive teams. They trap so much. When the shot goes up, weak side rebounding is there for you. But you've got to sacrifice your body, Mike. A lot of body contact.
You'd figure, along with Kobe Bryant and Dwight Howard and LeBron James and probably Kevin Durant, Dwayne Wade will complete the first-team All-NBA when that comes out in a few weeks.
Yeah, I like this. Yeah, I like this. They're going right at Richardson again.
Pierce beat him, missed it. Arroyo digs down to get the rebound.
I like the strategy, though. Go to Paul, get him going, and you can see he's made some excellent moves here.
He looks quicker.
Yep.
Richardson. There's the three, and here comes Rondo, a very good rebounding guard.
Now remember, Richardson is a very high percentage three-point shooter. He's got to make Pierce pay at the other end.
Perkins wants his space, wants Jermaine, and got two.
Mike, he loves that move. He loves that move. Post them up on that left box, come into the paint, jump hook. That's why he's second in the league at 60% field goal percentage.
Wade split the double, got to Perkins. Beasley couldn't clean it up. The Heat want goaltending. It's 3-on-2, Pierce.
You got to get the charge here unless he's inside the defensive box. He's inside the defensive circle. Now, I agree with Miami. That ball was touched as it was over the rim at the other end of the floor. Everyone was up. And then the players, unfortunately, a couple of guys stopped to argue. You cannot stop while the Celtics are in transit. Keep an eye out to the left of the rim. You're going to see it right. See, the ball was tapped as it still had an opportunity to fall in the rim.
2 free throws for Pierce. Hubie, what about the keys for Boston in this series?
Yeah, I like the fact that the Celtics now, Rondo's health is major. Can he give you the 36 to 38 minutes? They're going to need him in that fourth quarter. And then Perkins and Garnett, they've got to come in with their average in points and in rebounding. Then keep Wade off the foul line. If you can keep him 6 to 8, you'll be doing a good job. But the key is once he gets in the paint, he distributes so well to the other players. Can you keep him out of that painted area?
You see a 30-second stoppage to try to get the bleeding stop for Ray Allen. So it took 4.5 minutes of the series for the first blood to be drawn. A check on Ray as Doc Rivers and his Boston Celtics try to get another run going. It has been a season of fits and starts. We were there on Christmas when they beat Orlando. And, I mean, you talk about a great gift under the Christmas tree for the fans of here in New England. 23-5. They had the best record in the East, right up there with the Lakers' top records in the league. And then the rest of the season, they were 500, Hube. They were 27-27. Never could get consistency. And they closed 3-7. So do you put some stock into that number down the stretch?
I'm a fan of basketball, so I want to see the Celtics be able to play at maximum potential. If Miami takes them out, good for Miami. All right, that means they had a great game plan and Wade played well. But for the Boston Celtics, they have a ton of talent here. The big three, maybe they're half a step back, except Perkins and Rondo. Both of these guys have had big seasons. Main thing for them in this series and in the next round, if they get there, is bench production. Consistent bench production.
And Tony Allen comes off that bench as Ray Allen couldn't get the bleeding stopped, so they will try to take care of that back in the locker room. So that's our first sub of the game as Carlos Arroyo knocks down the jumper. He went to college at Florida International down near Miami from Puerto Rico, where so much of his family is. Arroyo, a circuitous route through 10 teams, but found a home the last third of this season with Miami. And he's digging down for the second time to keep a rebound alive. Here's Wade, Garnett chasing. Out of bounds, they say it hit Wade last. Miami ball.
Yeah, you can see he lost that, Mike, and that was a shame. Just keep an eye on this now. He knows he can see. Look to the left. There he is. See, he was definitely intimidated by Kevin Garnett coming down, chasing him in that position.
Totally lost it on his own. Garnett to work on Beasley.
See, nothing complicated in this early going.
And KG knocks it down.
Now, see, they're posting up their key guys, Perkins, Garnett, and Pierce, and they're saying, if you play us one-on-one, we have an advantage. We're going to force you to run the double-teamer.
Richardson got a step. Pierce from behind. Ed Malloy had him for the whistle and the foul. You've been here a bunch of times. I can't count how many playoff games you've been to here. Isn't it great, the atmosphere of a playoff game in Boston? You know, it's awesome. They don't have to give out towels to tell the people it's the playoffs, it's important, you know?
Right.
They're just here and they're ready. It's a great scene in here.
Now the guys in white, their half-court rotation has been excellent. Perkins was right there.
All right, tomorrow, ABC, a reminder, Oklahoma City against the Lakers, the TNT tripleheader on Sunday, Charlotte, Orlando, San Antonio, Dallas, Portland, Phoenix, all game ones. And you'll see on NBA TV Tuesday, game 2, Milwaukee, Atlanta, and Portland, Phoenix. Earlier tonight on ESPN, it was Atlanta winning 102-92 over Milwaukee. And this afternoon on ABC, the Cavaliers won game 1, beating the Bulls by 13. To start the playoffs, Garnett got inside position, tried to go over O'Neal, and he missed the dunk. And it's Miami ball.
Anytime that Garnett posts up, because of the size difference between he and Beasley, Beasley continues to play him on the top side or absolutely front him. Well, the lob pass is there, mainly because the Celtics clear out the other side of the lane.
Two veterans, Jermaine O'Neal and Kevin Garnett, getting way above the rim there. Facing on Perkins, here's O'Neal.
That's his move, though, Mike. That fadeaway, he steps into you, and then he fades back. Now, it's there for him. He's just got to make the shot.
Wade on the run out.
Now, if I'm Doc Rivers, I'm not happy now. They've had 2 uncontested breaks, and where are my guards? You know, neither guard was back over half court. Kevin Garnett ran that one down.
And it's a Miami team that takes few possessions. They don't run up and down. They're a slow-paced team, but they take that opportunity. Beautiful cut to Tony Allen inside for 2. Allen, a very important part of this team, Hubie. He will essentially be the backup point guard or the first guard off the bench for Doc as we go through the rotation.
Well, he's a very tough kid. 6'4", quick hands, quick feet, and he understands team play. Plus, he can score the ball for you.
There's Arroyo knocking down another outside shot. Carlos has been with a championship team, part of the Pistons title team back 5 years ago.
Well, Carlos, he can score the ball for the Puerto Rican national team. You know, he's been there a number of times representing his country. He's a big scorer down there. Here, he's got a role to play.
Rondo so good on that penetration. Allen couldn't lift.
Oh, come on now. Look up.
Yeah, he had 3 on 2.
Yeah, he had it, yeah.
Tries a cute pass. Richardson's got it. And they'll reset. Michael Beasley. Good weak side rebound. Jermaine O'Neal kept his pivot foot. Garnett challenges him, and a foul was called.
Now, the fans all wanted a travel as he kept giving a pump fake.
So no travel. There'll be free throws when we come back. Rondo wasn't feeling well. We wanted to watch his energy early on. So far, so good.
Now, I like what we're seeing. Now, also, he's moving extremely well without the ball. You double team the post, he's cutting. Now, this guy right here, the defense from the rear, get the shot block. This is their 3rd uncontested out in the open floor.
Just over 4.5 left in the first quarter. Our game tied at 15. We know the Miami Heat won the title in 2006. It's been an evolution, a different cast, but still front and center is Dwayne Wade. And we talked to Dwayne last night about this time of the year and how it feels different when the playoffs arrive.
It's a different mode. You know, it's like your brain clicks into a total different season. You know, you go to a total different place. You know, it takes a lot of focus. You're excited, but also, you know, you got to do a lot of homework as well. And like I said, my hands, like right now, my palms are sweating, you know, just thinking about, you know, the opportunity, because it's not guaranteed, you know, for everyone to be in the playoffs. And, you know, for our team, it was a time where it was looking like we wasn't going to be in there, you know, even though we felt we was, but that's how quick it can happen. So you got to enjoy it.
Hubie, you've coached against or broadcast Dwayne Wade since he's come into the league, now 7 years in the league. And when he walked down to the room last night, you looked at me, you're just so impressed with the maturity and the leadership of Wade as he talked about every issue related to this Miami team.
Yeah, I like it. And the fact that he is stepping up and he really wants to be the leader of this team. He leads by example. And also, he's on top of everybody about scouting reports, knowing your video, knowing the paper scouting reports, and then quizzing guys about what their jobs are. I love all that because that's what a leader of a team is supposed to do.
That's right. Heather Cox can add to that. Heather?
Well, exactly. Dwayne Wade's using that experience and passed on a little knowledge on the eve of the playoffs. Hubie, like you said, he talked to his team saying you can't just show up in the playoffs. You can't plan to outplay your man one-on-one. Matchups won't win games. You need to get into the brains of the Celtics about what makes them successful. And yes, that means watching more film. So Dwayne Wade really putting his money where his mouth is. On Thursday night, Dwayne was texting back and forth forth with assistant coach David Fisdale while watching the film, really compiling a notebook of tendencies, kind of like cramming for finals, guys.
It's that time for college students. 10-2 run from Miami is stopped there on the putback by Garnett. 19-17, the Heat lead by 2.
Mike, right now, 7 shot attempts by Boston, none outside the painted area. They have 6 field goals, all in the paint.
On the takeaway, here's Rondo. Tony Allen ran over Arroyo at midcourt. Allen got up first and got up and dunked.
What a great decision. Now, we had a good look at that, yes. Mike. There was a 2-on-2, and then here came Tony Allen. He never gave up. Rondo gave the ball fake and then rewarded Allen for busting it to get down the floor.
Tony's in. Ray Allen still out trying to get the bleeding stopped up by his nose from some incidental contact earlier in the quarter. Jermaine O'Neal has struggled. 1 of 5. Shot clock violation. And they like it in Boston.
Well, you got to reward the defense, Mike. They're doing a great job, no doubt about it. Now just keep an eye. That was a great deflection. And now keep to the right. Here comes Tony Allen. Watch what happens. They match up 2-on-2. No one's there for Allen. Beautiful decision by Rondo. He saw the entire play. Open up for him.
We have our first subs of the game. There's Ray Allen with the cotton in the nostrils, try to stop the bleeding. He's back on the bench. As they look at him, we have a couple of subs. First, Boston brings in Rasheed Wallace and Michael Finley, 2 gentlemen with championship rings. They'll be key in the rotation as reserves. And Miami also brings a guy off their bench who has a title ring. Udonis Haslem checks in for Beasley. But Allen continues to do the work inside. Tony has a half dozen to lead all scorers in the game.
Mike, he's a guy that you have to pay attention to. You give him a starting position, he scores double figures every night. They run no plays for him. He's one of these intangible guys. You must play him without the ball.
No, stop it. Stop that, Dwayne Wade. Between 2 guys, and then Garnett's standing there. It's Kevin Garnett standing there.
You know what? You've been in football too long now, okay? I mean, it was like the hole opened up, yes. Mike, and he just went right down the middle of the field.
7 for Wade off the ball. We have Allen knocked down, and the foul is coming up here on the Heat. It'll be on Udonis Haslem as we hit a timeout. All square 21.
Just love this. Just keep an eye on this. This is going right down and saying, Kevin Garnett, you're a great shot blocker in your face.
You'll see Kevin Durant, the league scoring champ, tomorrow on ABC. Pre-game GMC Sierra NBA Countdown, 2:30 Eastern. Tip time just after 3 in LA. And Hubie and I were in Oklahoma City on Wednesday. And Hubie, as we look at the Avatar DVD Blu-ray playoff journey, let's look at the story here in the East. I get your thoughts on what you saw in that Cleveland and Atlanta victories earlier today.
Well, I saw it in the first quarter. I just thought that Chicago had so many opportunities, Mike. Open shots, could not make a shot, and then hurt themselves with the 7 turnovers. But they did get back. Also, when you're down as big as Milwaukee was, playing without your center who had a definite all-NBA type of season, the fact that they came back in the game, give them a lot of credit. Let's hope that both teams can shoot a better percentage in game 2.
Finley chased off the line, knocked down the 2. You had the 2 teams with a little bit less playoff experience, showed a little bit of those jitters. Chicago was down 22 in the first half. Milwaukee down 23. And those are holes that you can't come back from on the road in playoff games. Joel Anthony has also checked in for the Heat, number 50, the center. And on the drive, yes, the 3rd guy who checked in, Mario Chalmers with the great hoop and a chance for a 3-point play.
I love it. That was just a backyard shot that you would do if you were playing horse, you know, in your driveway. This is just a great up over the top of 2 defenders, 2 guys who had an opportunity to block that shot.
You see Mario Chalmers, who took a lesser role, thumb ligament injury in January. Here's a beautiful look by the former national champion from Kansas. In his 3 years playing for the Jayhawks, the most outstanding player of the NCAA tournament when Kansas cut down the nets in 08.
Mike, very difficult. He started 82 games last year, averaged double figures, did a terrific job. This year, only 22 times. Well, he's been injured, and it's difficult for a young player to accept that and then still make contributions.
Oh, Joel Anthony just bailed him out because he got toasted by Tony Allen, did Chalmers. On the other end, it's Wade, as Wade is the lone starter out there for Miami, but that guy still has starter ability. Udonis Haslem comes off the bench and continues to play good ball for this team.
Now, this unit that's out on the floor right now for Miami, very, very quick. And also, Anthony is a terrific shot blocker.
Rasheed Wallace lost the handle. Joel Anthony got in the play.
Yeah.
And behind the play, Wallace ran into Chalmers.
Right.
Can't believe a foul was called, and it was. And quickly, Rasheed has picked up 2 personal fouls, and the Celtics are over the limit.
Mike, that was an easy call. That happened right in front of us. There's no doubt about it. Now, you're going to see, look to the right of your screen, right there. That was a collision. Their arms went out and pushed the player out of the way. That was an easy call for the trail official.
Rasheed walking away from a potential confrontation with the officials. We know about his technical history. Here's Doc Rivers in the last Boston huddle.
Let's close this quarter out, guys. Let's close this quarter out. Hey, defensive energy is key. Get into it, call it early. Keep it one way. Keep it one way. Let's go.
6-2 since that timeout. Miami leads by 4. Big baby Glenn Davis on the floor with Rasheed Wallace. Ray Allen, who came back with those nostrils plugged by cotton. Wallace goes to the basket, and a foul. And a foul is on Darrell Wright.
Now, that's where he needs to excel. He has a young player playing him in that position. He can score going to his right or to his left. He's an excellent shooter down in the box area. He has a height advantage, and he's playing against a shot blocker. All you have to do is give him a head fake and then make your drop step power move.
I thought the foul was on Wright. My mistake. Udonis Haslem is called for the foul. That's important because that's 2 on Haslem. So 2 similar guys, Haslem and Rasheed Wallace, come off the bench. Big offensive roles, similar size. Both pick up 2 fouls here in 2 minutes.
Now, they need Haslem as we go down the stretch because he'll probably be on the floor for them. He's a guy that can rebound, defend, and then make that 17 to 8-foot jump shot for you and get on the offensive board.
Wade drew the contact, didn't get the call, but has the hoop, and Dwayne has 9 on 4 of 5 from the field here in the opening quarter.
Yeah, I like what he's doing here. He's really picking his spots, Mike, to excel and taking you strong off the dribble and then going for another potential steal. I honestly feel that this is a shock to the Celtics that Miami is playing this aggressive in this building and forcing all of these deflection and turnovers.
Wait a minute. It's no news to Boston. This is a good defensive team. They're 2nd in the league in scoring defense, 2nd in field goal percentage defense.
Yeah, but we said that early. We have 2 of the best. But they haven't played against a group like this lately. That's
Boston
up in their face. Up in their face, okay? These guys are putting pressure from the 3-point line out. They're not accustomed to seeing this kind of banging around.
Little zone look out of this one. Chalmers, they say ball first by Allen. No foul, and Ray Allen has it with 12 seconds left, and the shot clock plug pulled.
They've missed Ray Allen early in here with the 3-point shooting because of the injury.
Rasheed Wallace finds Tony Allen inside. Did he get it off in time? Yes! Count it at the end of the quarter for Tony Allen, who had a very big quarter for the Celtics with 8 to lead all Boston scores. It went in at 0-0, so it will be reviewed. It looked like it was out of his hands before time ran out. We'll give you a quick look before we head off to break. Ball out, light on, that'll count. That was a very good first quarter. After one, game 1, best of 7. All the regular season meetings were won by Boston. Miami's trying to change it in the postseason. The 4-5 matchup in the East. The Heat 29, the Celtics 28 on the opening night of the playoffs on ESPN.
In Boston, where Miami has a 1-point lead, joined by Eric Spoelstra. And Coach, you guys come in having won 12 of your last 13. What do you need to show that same type of resolve tonight?
Well, it's going to be a defensive game probably for both teams. Pace will be important. Right now, they're getting some really easy opportunities right at the rim. Even some of the ones that were blocking, they're there.
You told me before the game your biggest concern is not Kevin Garnett, it's not Paul Pierce, it's Rajon Rondo. I know he's a little under the weather, but still very effective. What's your strategy against him tonight?
Well, you try to keep him out of the paint. Much easier said than done, but all those guys are going to have to be contained. They do such a great job of moving the ball and passing.
Eric, thanks for your time.
All right, Heather, thank you. Some of the comments from Eric Spoelstra after the first quarter. Give me your thoughts on the first 12 minutes.
Yeah, we said that we honestly thought that Miami would have to shoot a high percentage and especially execute in a half-court game. They've been to the line 8 times already. That's great. They're shooting 52%. I'm just impressed with the Miami defense out on the perimeter. Both teams, now there's another steal. That is the 5th turnover for Boston, and also Miami has 4. But remember, it's aggressive here tonight.
24-year-old Jarrell Wright in his 6th year in the league. Nice job covering in the paint. Arroyo is left open. Good shot fake. Now Beasley has it with 8 to shoot. Somebody should have taken that.
Yeah, Arroyo definitely passed up an uncontested shot.
And now they're going to have to get a 9-1-1 shot at the end of the clock from Chalmers. Rebound Wallace.
When you're in there, you've got to take advantage of the situation.
It is Finley, Tony Allen, Ray Allen, Rasheed Wallace, and Glenn Davis for the Atlantic Division champion Boston Celtics.
Like right now, a +10 in the paint for the Celtics. If they score here, right there, ooh, what a miss.
Glenn Davis couldn't convert.
No, he's got to go up stronger than that. You got to give Beasley a lot of credit. I thought Beasley got a piece of that on the way up.
Chalmers and Arroyo in the backcourt. Jermaine O'Neal didn't come to the pass. Ray Allen to the deck. Davis takes it away for Boston. Glenn Davis, who was really on the edge of falling out of the rotation a couple of weeks ago, but has brought energy and passion to the floor the last couple of weeks. It's going to be a blocking foul call on Chalmers, and the basket counts for Allen.
Now that was a very difficult score, because once you see the replay, you're going to see Ray Allen's left arm shoot out as the collision is made. Right there. You see how he knocks him out of the way, and then he continues through playing the whistle. Excellent move, continuation, NBA style.
Here you see 5 consecutive seasons at 90% or better free throw percentage for Ray Allen with his 91 this year, joining Rick Barry and Reggie Miller as the only 3 men to do that in league history. The guy is only 89.4% for his career at the line. Celtics by 2. We've played the game in a 5-point margin either way thus far. Right shot is long. Look at Arroyo go up and snatch it. Nice.
Mike, that's a situation. We go in the post, let him work. If he throws the ball out, let him repost and go right back in there.
Jermaine O'Neal, 1 of 5 on the night in the first quarter, had it knocked out. It's Miami ball, 13 shoot.
Good strategy, though, Mike, by going that way. Mainly because he's a high scorer for you, and he can shoot the high percentage. Let him get the feel of what's happening, because you know he can score the ball for you. If not, maybe he'll get to the foul line and put fouls on their frontline player.
Right with 5 to shoot. Here's Arroyo. He'll take the open jumper this time. And Michael Finley, who was with San Antonio a good part of this year, thought he wasn't going to be part of the rotation, asked for a release, was let go, signed with Boston, and now playing for Doc Rivers. They both went to the same high school, Proviso East in Chicago, several years apart. Matter of fact, Finley's sister was the cheerleader, the head cheerleader, when Doc was starring at Proviso. O'Neal.
There you go.
Second field goal.
When you have established guys, they get off to a little rocky start. The big thing is, was he taking bad shots? Answer, no. He was getting high percentage shots. Go to the guy, let him get a feel.
Tony Allen wants to post up Arroyo. He's got a big size advantage there. Davis put it on the deck, trapped under the hoop, met by the combination of Beasley and O'Neal. It's out of bounds. With 2 on the shot clock, Boston will have a short clock to shoot when we come back. It's a good time to be a sports fan in Boston. The Red Sox are playing. The Bees are in the playoffs. It's a marathon on Monday. Faneuil Hall. I'm sure a bunch of people down there watching the Celtics and the Heat in Game 1 tonight. They have Monday Night Baseball on ESPN. The Miami Heat back in the playoffs for the 2nd consecutive year. Remember, this team struggled to 15 wins a couple of seasons ago. Playoffs last year, 6-1 start this year. Brutal schedule. They were 23-30 in the meat of that, But Eric Spoelstra knew his team had a very difficult stretch with a lot of road games, January and February. They were able to hold it together. Hubie, they won 12 of the last 13. Second best record in the league since March 1st at 18-4. And they finished as an ascending team heading to the postseason.
Well, Mike, two things happened. Their shooting percentage went up 3 percentage points. That's major. And then their defense went from 95 a game to 92. Another -3. So give it to them at both ends of the floor. And you can see it here early. Now, can they continue for 48 minutes on the road? Well, we'll see.
2 on the shot clock. Ray Allen, quick trigger. Off the rim, rebounded by Arroyo. It was Chalmers leaking out. Beasley, Jermaine O'Neal, and Darrell Wright work for the Heat, trying to win in Boston. Remember, the Celtics lost game 1 of both playoff series in this building last year. O'Neal climbs across the lane.
Well, see, he can shoot up over the top of big baby Glenn Davis at will, and he wants the ball down in that area. He's just got to take his time.
Allen working on Chalmers, and on the pass, a foul's called on the Heat. It's 2 on Chalmers. And Kendrick Perkins comes in for Rasheed Wallace. Hubie, this is the time of the year for the coaches. You tighten your rotation, which means your starters play more minutes, and that's a big story when it comes to the Celtics.
Absolutely, because their key guys play between 30 and 32 minutes. What you want to have happen for you is for them to play 36 to 40, depending upon how close the games are. And then you have the day off or 2 days off in between games.
Heavy contact as Pierce was right there at the rim with Jermaine O'Neal. And Miami piling up the fouls here in the second quarter. 3 on the Heat, none on the Celtics as Wade sits.
Mike, a couple of things are happening in this game. Right now, the Celtics are dominating the paint. If they score these 2 here, it'll be 24-10, a +14 in the painted area. And then also, we have not seen a three-point play, a 3 made behind the three-point line for Celtics or Miami.
That's right. Boston hasn't even taken one. A reminder, Amazing is being here. Season tickets for 2010-2011 are on sale now. NBA.com/tickets to reserve your seats. The NBA, where amazing happens. They sold out every game here at the TD Garden. Another capacity crowd of 18,000, 624 on hand. By the way, Boston, the Lakers, Dallas, Portland, Cleveland, Orlando. Credit to all your cities. Sold out every game this year.
Can't jump up in the air and not shoot the basketball. You can never jump up in the air to pass. Rhonda, they played that perfectly.
How that got through to Pierce. As Miami struggling offensively in this quarter. They only have 2 points. The score in this quarter, by the way, is 4-2 Boston.
Oh, my. Oh, wow. Hey. Oh, that was a pass. Come on.
If they give him an assist,
yeah, I know.
I'm walking out. No, I'm done.
Now, we know that was O'Neal couldn't believe that he missed it. He missed the first one, gets the rebound, and as he goes up, he shoots an air ball. But watch what's happening from the other side. Here comes Beasley. Nice pass.
I had you all the way, pal. Taking care of you. Heat back on top by 1. Garnett's coming in next dead ball. There's the first 3 of the night attempted by Boston, and Allen missed. And here comes Darrell Wright. I like what he does at 6'9".
I like the way Ray Allen faded to the corner when his defensive man tried to cheat and go over the top of the screen.
You think Ray's seen that a few times?
A few.
Jermaine O'Neal able to knock it. That's a couple of field goals here for Jermaine. He's 3 of 10 for the game, but his team's up 3.
That's okay. See, he's working because he's catching the ball. The centers can't pass it themselves, and they stay down in the painted area, and they go from rim to rim. When they're rewarded, they continue to board, block shots, and rotate.
Here's inside to Perkins, shuffle the feet, and he traps. See, now guys who aren't playing all over the league just made that note. Okay, the next time that I take 10 of my team's 30 shots, I'm going to say, but guys, I'm working.
Yeah, right.
I'm not shooting too much. Hubie said I'm working.
Yeah, no, that's all right.
But you always say that about the big guys. If they're running
Absolutely.
and working, they need to be rewarded.
You can't win here tonight unless this guy has a good game. Not only with the points, but in the rebounding, shot blocking, and then the coverage in the lane. Now, at the other end, if you notice, Perkins isn't getting any shot opportunities, and his head is down. So we got to get him in the game. If I'm one of the Celtic guards and I'm running opportunities, I've got to also keep my eye open and get this guy going. He dominated O'Neal in the 3 wins during the regular season.
Teams exchange travels as Beasley had the chair pulled on him by Garnett. You saw the difference with Dwayne Wade in and out of the game. It's a very important stat to watch. Plus minus when Wade's on the floor and when he's off in this series. Perkins is 1 of 3 from the field. Allen a 3. Long on both that he's taken here in this last couple of minutes.
If you're wondering why the Celtics aren't on the offensive board, they're last in the league in offensive rebounding, 30th. They do not crash the board. They only get 8 a game.
Well, that was a glass crash by Michael Beasley, who was exchanging words, very angry at the way he was pushed. I don't know if that was towards Garnett or Perkins. Beasley was unhappy. Right now, Miami matching the energy of Boston at home early on in Game 1. The Heat by 3.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs. Brought to you by the Sierra from GMC. Never send a truck to do a Sierra's job. And Wendy's, you know when it's real.
Where caring happens. Hey, Steven Tyler is at the game. Dancing to Beat It. Very nice. It's Steven Tyler. So I'm surrounded by Hall of Famers. I got Steven Tyler 3 seats to my left, 2 seats to my left. Of the Hall of Fame statistician Marty Aronoff to my left, and you to my right.
No, wait.
I'm surrounded by Hall of Famers tonight. Greatness abounds. Big names come out, the playoffs. Wade's back in, and a beautiful dime left, but Beasley could not convert. How about the big 3, Hubie? Garnett, Pearson, Ray Allen, 4 of 12 from the field here in the first half.
At the other end of the floor, Miami's missed some really easy opportunities, but then again, at the other end, the Boston Celtics also down inside. We're seeing some great challenging of shots.
Perkins, pitch to Allen, tough to catch. Rondo in there fighting. Beasley keeps it alive. It's been 5 minutes and 15 seconds since the Celtics have scored a field goal.
If you throw the ball in there to Perkins and you double team him, he'll kick the ball out. And by the way, he just made that look very easy. That looked like the layup drill before the game starts. I mean, oh my, did he fly by.
Heat has scored 6 in a row. Rondo can't change that. Beasley the rebound. Miami's lead is 5, equaling the largest of the night for the Heat.
Energy is great for Miami. Their game plan is terrific, and they've got 6 offensive rebounds in this game.
Wade tried to find Darrell Wright. Good save by Beasley. Good deflection by the Celts. It's 4 on 3.
Now, Beasley's got to get back. He's the last guy over half court. He's got to understand that every possession in the playoffs is major.
We have a whistle, and let's see. A foul called on Arroyo on the sideline. There's the story with the big 3. 13 to Boston 32, and only 4 field goals made.
I think that the defense, though, on those 3 people has been excellent, Mike. I like the fact that they've gone to Pierce down inside. I feel that if they continue to go to him down in the post or foul line extended, he'll make it happen.
Rondo has 4 points, 2 assists. Stomach virus has really weakened Rondo, and he doesn't look his normal self yet. Perkins keeps this trip alive.
Well, he's a big offensive rebound.
Oh, boy. Talk about a discard.
Well, we had 2 referees right on that play. All right, and both of them thought that it was a flop and that the contact was not hard enough for him to go down that easy.
And Miami calls for time. Kendrick Perkins backing in on 255-pound Jermaine O'Neal. You decide.
Well, you know, from that angle, I would say that he got him with his shoulder and a forearm.
What's the playoffs?
All right, then he got him.
With this Taco Bell studio update, the Cleveland Cavaliers defeated the Chicago Bulls, moving 1-0 ahead in that series. 4 Cavaliers ended up in double figures. LeBron right there had 24. Shaq had 12. Antoine Jamison ended up with 15. But Chicago's Derrick Rose, Mike Tirico says he can't wait for Game 2. He thinks they still have a good chance. Back to you.
Jones, it's a little bit what Hubie said, seeing that momentum at the end of the game. Miami leads Paul Pierce and the Celtics by 3. Before the game, we said, hey, you have Paul, you have KG, you have Ray Allen. Which guy's the most important here for the Celtics in a playoff run?
I think it's going to have to start at the top with Rondo. You know, I think his ball pressure, his energy, it's between him and KG, man. It's a toss-up because, you know, we need KG's enthusiasm, you know, and what he brings to the table when he's out there yelling, screaming, bringing that energy to the crowd, to the team, and Rondo when he's playing the type of defense we know he can play and when he's getting everybody involved. So I think it's a toss-up between those two. And if these guys play well, then, you know, we're going to be great.
Haslam with the running hook. What do you think about what Pierce just said? That it's a little bit Rondo, but also Garnett needs to be just a little bit more than he has been.
Well, anytime you lead the league in steals and you're fourth in assists at 9.8 like Rondo is, he's so valuable to the team. He's an excellent defender. And here's where he's the most dangerous, behind the backboard. He'll find wide open guys once he gets there. But then if you're smart and you get out and his man releases, you'll make them pay at the other end.
Ray Allen has missed all 3 of his threes. Wade has a step, kicked it out to Arroyo.
This is the guy that can help him. Nice pass.
Turned over. Yeah, Celtics on the run with Rondo.
Wasn't ready for the pass.
Joel Anthony hits Garnett, and the foul is called as Garnett goes tumbling in to the photographers. There's Doc Rivers from the last Boston huddle.
Listen to this. Just what we talked about before the game about your resolve, right? Right now, you're getting great shots, all right, they're not going in. We got to get second, we got to get the rebounds. But don't hang your heads, keep playing, don't wait for the refs to bail you out. We got to go do it ourselves, all right? But y'all got to keep trusting each other, and you got to keep trusting the pass.
I like that, mainly because they're second in the league in assists. The reason is because their front court guys pass the ball so well. Big thing, Doc was right on it. They're getting good shots. They're just missing them. The big thing is they only have 2 offensive rebounds. But when you're last in the league, Mike, and you only get 8 a game, it's hard to say, hey, we're going to turn it on and be a big offensive rebounding team. Because once you start that and you haven't done it during the year, what about your defensive transition balance, which we have seen is very weak in this first half?
3-point Miami lead. This will be important how Allen's able to guard Dwayne Wade during those stretches when Wade gets rolling. There he goes. At the rim, it is Haslam with the cleanup down the lane.
You got Anthony and Haslam in there right now, along with Wright on your front line. You're not big and heavy and strong, but you have some athletes.
Yes.
Very, very quick, Mike.
And that's always the concern. When you have young athletic teams, will that take away that experience of the Celtics/age? Joel Anthony on the baseline took that away.
Now, that was a great defensive play by Anthony. This guy has been anytime he gets his minutes, he's done a very nice job for Miami.
Corner 3 by Wright won't go, and the rebound comes to Garnett.
Well, we've done enough Boston games to know they struggle offensively. They haven't shot great lights out there in the year, and they're a big turnover team.
Perk, switch pivot feet, Joe DeRosa all over it, and that is 9 turnovers for the Celtics, a team that turns it over 15 times a game in the regular season.
Mike, they're in the bottom 1/3 in the league. That's their biggest problem. When they get to close games in the fourth quarter, fatigue, low shooting percentage, and turnovers. Hey, but let's talk about this guy Anthony since he's in the game.
Yes.
I mean, he's making a lot of things happen.
Joel Anthony, 6'9", 27-year-old, undrafted, Pensacola junior college for 2 years, a couple at UNLV, his 3rd year in the league. Wade split the double, and out of the corner, a 3 goes, and now the largest lead is Quentin Richardson knocked it down for either team. 8-point Miami edge, and there's a nervous silence in Boston.
Well, they're getting out-hustled, Mike. They're getting outworked. I know it's hard to say that because both teams are really doing a good job. They're in a 2-3 zone right now.
Garnett challenges Anthony, and the foul's called on Joel.
I like that. I like the fact. See, that reminds you of your 70s, 80s. You go for the shot block, you don't get it, you catch the guy on the wrist, force him to go to the foul line when he has such a high percentage shot as that. Make him make the 2 foul shots. One thing in behalf of the Celtics, their 3 best players, all right, Pierce, Garnett, and Allen, are all outstanding foul shooters, all above 83%.
2 for KG. Lead is still 8.
Well, I'm glad I made that statement about everyone being over 83%.
Well, if you want to check all the stats or all the Boston teams, go to ESPNBoston.com. There's a SportsCenter segment just for you, the Boston fan. You'll keep up on the Bruins, how they even their series with Buffalo. Zdeno Chara with 2 big goals in the afternoon win. Check up on the Red Sox, who lost their suspended game that was resumed this evening to Tampa Bay, and now they're playing the regularly scheduled game. You want the news, and with the Patriots coming up the draft on Thursday, ESPNBoston.com. Click it a bunch of times during the day, and you'll be up to date with what's going on here in the hub. 7-point Miami lead. Final minute, second quarter. Haslam couldn't put a fork in it. And on the turnover is Rondo on the push. Pierce off the wing. Took the circle line.
Well, plenty of time here. Plenty of time.
Allen penetrated.
Nice. First of all, that was a nice catch. That was a nice catch by Ray Allen on the move. Yeah. A pass was not a perfect pass. And then, because Ray finishes so easily with his left or his right. They keep coming out, putting 2 guys on Wade to make him give up the ball.
And they need to do a better job when that happens.
Yeah.
You have the Toyota halftime show coming up with Mark Jones and Avery Johnson and Byron Scott standing by in the studio. We'll have the highlights of the Cavaliers' Game 1 win, and same with Atlanta beating. Game 4 of our ABC ESPN opening playoff night quadruple header. Carmelo Anthony and the Denver Nuggets. I like the sweater.
Nice sweater.
Nice look, isn't it?
That's good, yep.
From now the big 4, since everybody said Rondo's so important.
Well, I like the fact Pierce, Garnett, and Allen, hey, they're getting good shots, but they're 5 for 16. Rondo is Rondo. You can see that he doesn't have his usual energy, but hopefully he'll be able to pick up in the second half.
All right, more on the Celtics story as we head to the second half. Here's Heather.
Well, Doc Rivers' biggest concern is the fact that Paul Pierce only had 1 field goal attempt in the entire second quarter. He said we've got to get him way more involved, and also, as Hubie mentioned, just 2 offensive boards in that half. That's got to change, and the fact that Miami's gotten 19 points off of Boston turnovers is making Doc Rivers a very grumpy man, guys.
Yeah, this is not the start Boston wanted or hoped for. They were hoping for the energy. You see the home teams had 15 and 22 point leads in the first 2 games. This is a 4-5 series, expected to be more competitive, and it has been so far. Perkins couldn't get it from Allen. A turnover out of the gate for Boston, and the 10 men who started the game start this third quarter.
Now, just look at this. We have 21 turnovers, 11 by Miami, and now 10 by Boston. So naturally, you're going to have a slow-scoring game. Also, there has only been 1 3-point shot made, and that was by Miami. So both teams combined 1 for 9 from the 3-point line.
Quentin Richardson works with Michael Beasley.
They need this guy to get going.
Beasley lost the handle. Allen takes it away, and here come the C's back the other way.
We tell you at the top that was going to be a major matchup, Garnett and Beasley.
Allen down the pipe. Dish to Perkins, rolls it over the front of the rim.
I like Perkins' game. When you shoot 60%, you have to look for the guy on the move. He's now 3 for 5 in this game, and the main thing is get him going so that he keeps working both ends strong.
Going across halftime, the Celtics have scored the last 7 points. Last 5 of the quarter in the second. First 2 here, but scratch that. As Quentin Richardson, top 25 in the league, Hubie, a 40% three-point shooter, knocks one down.
Yeah, and it's nice because he's 2 for 4 in this game. That will be open for him, whether it's the right corner or the left corner, because of the double teaming.
Rondo gets inside. That scoop wouldn't go. If you weren't with us earlier, stomach ailment. Rondo was ineffective in practice yesterday. Didn't look all that great to Doc Rivers this morning. And he doesn't have that usual quickness and speed. Arroyo, Carlos with a deuce.
Always make the extra pass. Anytime they trap, first guy might not be open on the first pass. Second pass, you're going to get a man open.
Pierce through the contact. Goes Rondo in the lane. It's a nice pass inside to Perkins, and Jermaine O'Neal with good defense at the lid. His second block.
Well, we know these 2 guys can block shots. O'Neal as well as Perkins. They're going to always be up in there in shot blocking.
D. Wade has been more of a facilitator. Look at him! Get the rebound and put it in.
Come on, from out of bounds. From out of bounds. What an effort, Mike.
And you hear the folks in Boston a little unhappy with the Celtics, and Doc Rivers unhappy with his team. He's chewing them out in the other huddle as timeout is called by Boston. Quick 7-0 run right back, and Dwayne Wade takes the cleanup. They forgot about him. They're standing around. Boston's not careful to be down a game early in this series. Biggest lead is what Doc Rivers warned his team about before the half started.
Hey, keep thinking about resolve and sustaining, playing hard for 48. All right, listen, when we go to the basket, we got to go to score. Can't go to get fouled. They ain't giving you those fouls. You got to go to score. Think score and everything else will come.
Right on the money.
Again.
That's right.
But his guys aren't doing it. Allen comes up short and rebounded by the Heat.
But this game has been refereed exactly the same at both ends. There might be contact. Hey, this is the playoffs, and this is how the game is supposed to be played. Let's see the crispness of your ball movement. Let's see the third and fourth options.
And Wade has not gone off yet.
No.
Richardson. That's number 3.
Woo. Mike, you brought out a good point. We know that he can make them. Anytime that you take 5 a game and you shoot over 40%, that's incredible.
Woo. Garnett at the rim with the flush. Stops a 10-0 run.
Yeah, I was surprised O'Neal lost contact with Garnett. Anytime that you get that forearm on a guy and you lose contact when you're that close to the basket, you're in trouble if he's moving.
Scoreboard urging the fans to make noise, and Dwayne Wade says change the scoreboard.
Speak about moving. That was beautiful movement from the other corner without the ball. Beautiful. Great eye contact.
I'm sorry, Hubie. Wade led the league in scoring last year, and this year is a more complete player. Knock away there on cue. Thank you, Dwayne.
And he's happy. He's happy about his role and how he's playing his role. The team is happy when he takes the pressure off them in the last 6 seconds when the clock goes down.
Wade on the way up. No, but a foul. You should see on the bottom line, Jimenez has pitched the no-hitter for the Rockies. So baseball's first no-hitter happening on the opening night of the playoffs. This is what you were talking about, Hubie.
Yeah, now keep an eye to the top of the screen. There's ball movement, and then as his man turns his head, Wade runs without the ball right to the front of the rim. That's good eye contact with the man with the ball, and then also moving without the ball.
Wade, as you said before, Hube, a great stretch of 3 games against Boston, 27, 30, and 44 this year, plus the assist. And the only guys, and you're talking really something when you can do it against the Celtics all time, Oscar Robertson, Tiny Archibald when he was with the Kings, MJ, LeBron, and now Wade, 33 points and 8+ assists in a single season against Boston.
Well, Wade is really, he's up there shooting right under 9 attempts a game. He's 4th in the league. That's a lot of body contact for a guard.
Garnett, no, and Wade gets the rebound. It's a Boston team that is shooting 44%, and nobody stopped Wade again.
Whoa, well, you needed a gun to do that. Okay, come on. I mean, did you see the move that he just made? I mean, he stopped on a dime, changed direction, and went right up in Garnett's face.
Pierce's foul.
That was amazing what he just did.
It was pretty special. He does that. He's so good at splitting that double when it seems like there's no room.
Just watch. See him split that? He just changed direction in a heartbeat. And then watch as he comes down on the split. Now he's taking Garnett, and he just lays it up, not with his left, but in your face with the right hand. Beautiful.
Wade with 7 in the quarter. Pierce hits the free throw. Heather Cox.
Well, earlier in the season, Eric Spoelstra called Dwayne Wade in for a one-on-one meeting, and the results are paying off now. Spoelstra basically asked Dwayne to become more of a facilitator, more of a decoy, really let his teammates start making plays to give them confidence. And Mike, amazingly, Dwayne reiterated the same thing, saying last year I came in with a different mindset. I wanted to prove myself. I wanted to lead the league in scoring. But this year, I wanted to show them that I believe in my teammates. I trust them, and that I don't always need to be the one taking that game-winning shot. And that confidence has been building all year.
Yeah, Heather, I'm sorry to tell you, we're thinking along the same lines, because I was just thinking about what Wade told us regarding that last night. You're seeing the fruits of that. Facilitator, but when he needs to, still understands the moment and takes the shot. Wow. 20 for Wade. He's 9 of 11 from the field. He has 9 here in the third quarter.
Mike, that was a floater up over the top of Kevin Garnett. 2 shots, 2 challenges on Garnett.
Perkins hits the baby hook as Boston tries to cut into now a 12-point Miami lead. Not surprised that Miami's competitive.
No.
Not surprised that even they have a lead here during this game. But the way they're playing, Boston has been without starch, without sizzle thus far. Perkins knocked it away. It'll stay down here with 8 to shoot.
See, Perkins is coming to life in this half. They're looking for him. He's moving well. So Jermaine O'Neal, it's going to put a lot of pressure on him defensively. He's got to really be cautious now when he leaves Perkins to help someone else out in the painted area.
O'Neal from the top.
Nice block.
Good job by Garnett to come on over. Start a 4-on-3. KG to Tony Allen. Wade made the block. Oh, Wade at both ends has been the best player on the floor tonight. Now Tony Allen gets the guard as Ray Allen's on the bench, and Wade short on the 3, but Jermaine O'Neal got it and traveled.
I like the fact that he was up in traffic. There were 2 white shirts in there, Perkins being one of the guys. He challenged, got the rebound. Unfortunately, he couldn't regroup.
And it's almost like the Celtics were standing still. I know the shot hit at a thin angle off the front of the rim, but it's not that activity, that attention that you expect from Boston.
That's correct.
A lot of turnovers. You saw that a moment ago.
Well, this is what it is. Can they score the ball?
There's Garnett inside.
No matter what we say, Mike, they only have 51 points. Come on, you're at home. You've got to get it going. Your big 3 have got to shoot that percentage.
Oh, he's trying to call a timeout, and I think it's a travel. Let's see. No, he called it while it was in the air and came across midcourt.
Matter of fact, he was jumping right in front of us, and he definitely did call a timeout. I like the defensive trap. That was smart basketball.
When you see a timeout's coming, that's the thing. Right. Regular season, just let them go take the timeout. What you tell me before, it's the playoffs, every possession.
They almost got the travel, Mike.
Exactly
but
right.
Almost, only that game. What's that game? Horseshoe.
There he is. Timeout can be verbal. You don't have to signal with your hands, obviously, if you got the ball in your hands. And Dick Pavetta was right there to make the call. Thus far, it has been Dwayne Wade, a guy who's answered the bell when it matters the most. Finals MVP in 2006. Healthy, refreshed, and leading this version of Miami back. Up 10 in Boston.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs. Brought to
ESPN. Hubie here, the Heat lead by 10 halfway through the quarter.
Major thing, Mike, right now, Miami has 10 offensive rebounds that has given them 11 points. It's 11-4 in second chance points. So that is major in this game. Also, Pierce and Allen are still only 3 for 13. Must get going.
See if they can extend it on the defensive end. Wade's been hot this quarter. Tried to find O'Neal, couldn't. 1 to shoot. Richardson, that's a shot clock violation. That's great out of the timeout for Boston.
Yeah, you like to see that. Right now, the Celtics have 4 blocks, and at the other end, Miami has 5.
Miami, top 5 in the league in turnovers. They've already turned it over 14, 1 more than they're at.
Well, you got to give Boston a lot of credit. They're second in the league in steals, second in the league in forced turnovers. Now, we're not seeing them get results at the other end, though.
Doubled Pierce to get it out of his hands. Now, Rondo with 7 to shoot. As O'Neal and Tony Allen with a curl. Allen had 8 in the first quarter. That's his first hoop since.
If you notice Miami, they're giving you the outside shot, but now you've got to get in the paint. They're trying not to let you get to the front of the rim. That was 5 defenders in the paint that time. Give Allen a lot of credit for the score.
Carlos Arroyo, 5 to shoot. Another good defensive trip. Wade a dish to O'Neal. Rebound Garnett. Couple of hoops, couple of stops. Here come the Celtics. Pierce wants it on the near side.
O'Neal is a 53% shooter, and he's just having a tough day here today. He's 3 for 13, and that's unfortunate because he's getting good looks. But they're not throwing the ball to chop liver. They're throwing the ball to a guy who can score.
Tony Allen was fouled by Arroyo. That's 2 on Carlos. O'Neal's going to come to the bench here with his 3 of 13, and Joel Anthony, the Montreal-born Heat backup big man, checks in. Ray Allen on the bench for Boston. He's had a quiet offensive game, just 2 of 8 from the field, 3 points.
Now this is what they got away from. Yeah, they got away from this. Right now you can see you're not getting a hard double team. He can shoot over. You've got to give him the confidence. Remember now, he's not had a lot of shots, meaning Paul Pierce. He only had 5 shots at halftime.
Lean was as large as 14. The last 8 scored by the C's, as you see in the last 3 minutes. Arroyo is free. Toe on the tape, missed the 2. Garnett's been aggressive with the boards. Maybe a timeout if Boston scores here. It's Pierce. It's 3. Rebound Wade.
Celtic defense definitely has picked up a little bit tougher, and they're quicker on the traps.
Oh, nice shot fake. Richardson got to the rack and got 2. Boy, when you can be a 40% three-point shooter, you got to honor it. You can make him pay.
Well, he's a good athlete. It's just nice to see that he's not been injured, because most seasons he's had some serious type of injury.
At the rim, Garnett.
Right, now you're on the road. You can't let them take it out of you. During the season, they became a good road team. They were 23-18, Miami. So you've got to be able to step up now. Too many seconds off the clock, Mike.
And nothing going on. Richardson has Wade at the top. He forced it. Garnett. Rondo. Fans ready to explode. And Rondo backs it out. Got a screen. Here's Pierce. It's 3. It's good. Timeout, Miami. A 13-2 run has them on their feet in the Garden in Boston. And it's happened on the defensive end where the shutdowns have come. Kevin Garnett getting rebounds and alley-oop dunks. And on the other side, Paul Pierce with a 3. Got a game again. Best game of the opening night of the 2010 playoffs. One of the top assist men in the NBA, Darren Williams, checking in Denver. The Jazz and the Nuggets, game 1 of the Western playoffs, coming up next here on ESPN. Our game tightening. Each team has scored 19 points in the 3rd quarter. Paul Pierce has 7 of the Boston 19. Dwayne Wade has scored 9 of the Miami 19. 2 former MVPs of the NBA Finals know that pressure time is their time.
I like the fact
a
that
lot of pressure is on you as a leader on the ball club, and I think players like me and Dwayne really welcome that. You know, just being in the spotlight, being under that pressure, being able to carry your team. Because as much as the credit we get when we go out there and help win the game, same credit we're going to get for losing it. And I think that's something you got to have, the thick skin to be able to take the both. But I just feel like, you know, in playoff time, that's the time where great players become superstars and they elevate their game.
And both players have in this 3rd quarter. And how about Mario Chalmers off the bench, not afraid to take a big 3 and stop the big run from Boston.
Also, the motor is running right now with Rajon Rondo. 5.5 minutes, 5 assists. He has stepped it up. He has 8 assists for the game.
They get it out of Pierce's hands. Glenn Davis barrels down the lane. Who's open? Rondo's got 2 to shoot. Got to take it. Shot clock violation, well defended. Eric Spoelstra, last huddle, settling his guys down.
All right, they went on their run, okay? Just gather ourselves. Let's go back at it. But you feel that they're playing at a higher motor than us right now. You feel that we have got to be more athletic for 48 minutes.
That's very Eric Spoelstra. He is one steady tempo, no highs and lows.
Well, I like what he's saying, mainly because they got away from their movement, Mike. Now they've come out it beautiful. See, that's how they were playing and got the lead. That ball touched a number of hands. They had movement from right to left, and then also screens on the baseline. They got to get back to that movement.
Tony Allen with the deflection. Allen's been very effective for Boston. 8 on the shot clock. Chalmers, Wade, Joel Anthony, Udonis Haslem, and Darrell Wright. And it's Wade, shut off, nowhere to go. Garnett took it away.
They got the 3 white shirts. Definitely took away the lane. No path to the rim.
After Miami's 15th turnover. Pierce.
He's got the feel now, Mike.
He does, yep.
And I like it mainly because you can see he's got spunk. He's got quickness of foot. And then also he's squaring you off. You're afraid of the drive, and he's now hitting the jump shot.
Wade trying to do a lot by himself. Tied up. Big baby on the deck. Battling with Wade. Are we going to get a foul called first? Yes, we are. On Wade for holding Davis. And how about Glenn Davis hustling and going to the deck?
Yeah, you had to call that. But just watch now, as Davis gets to the ball, you're going to see Wade come right up over the top. All right, now he's going to reach in and grab. Well, Dick Pavetta was to the left of that, saw the hit, and also made the easy call.
It's the first foul in the last 2 minutes, and only the first foul on Wade, but another turnover for Miami. Dwayne Wade, there's a picket fence surrounding you. We got 4 white shirts watching your every move.
Well, we saw that early in the first quarter, and then we didn't see any of that for the rest of the half.
Pierce battles with Wright. They go to the deck hard, and Wright's going to be called for the foul. And that's the second foul in the last 2, so Pierce free throws are coming. And Pierce, standing as you watch the replay, right in front of the fans, kind of urging them to pick it up as well. He's picked it up on the floor, Hugh.
Well, I give it to him. He's on fire. He's a leader. He's an inspirational type of guy. The people really relate to him. Come on, he's been with this organization for over 12 years. And the main thing is he's on fire. He's feeling it. And he's showing you by his hard work.
You talk about he's been here so long, Hubie. His career ranks second in points per game. This is Celtic history. With all due respect, we're not talking about Bobcat history here. We're talking about real history here. Second in points per game. Third in points. The only guys who scored more points, Bird and Havlicek. And on through the rest.
I do believe they only have 24 guys in the Hall of Fame. Okay? I think the people here have seen good basketball over the years.
And 21 retired numbers up in the rafters there.
And then only 17 trophies, 17 rings.
Yeah. Good defense by Pierce, kept by Garnett. Shot clock and game clock synced up. Boston was down 14 earlier in the quarter. They can tie or take the lead on this trip. Pierce lucky to get it back. Still synced up. Many of the fans on their feet as Pierce will rise for 3 in the lead. End of the quarter. Boston closed the quarter 17-5. The early part of the quarter was dominated by Miami and dominated by Dwayne Wade, who ended up with 9 early in that quarter. But in the second half of the third, Boston shut him down, and Paul Pierce picked it up. The other guys, the big 3 aren't scoring, but Pierce was big in that quarter with 11. After 3, 2-point game as the playoffs have begun.
Welcome back to Boston as we start the fourth quarter, joined by Doc Rivers. And Coach, this building, this team have come alive. What sparked the run?
Well, we started playing hard. I mean, we started out the third quarter. We wanted to play hard, but they made a run at us, and we started hanging our heads. I mean, this is the playoffs. It's going to be tough. You got to have resolve, and I thought we showed some in the second half of the third quarter.
Late game lapses have been critical and bothered this team, plagued this team throughout the regular season. How do you avoid that tonight?
Well, we forget about it and we play in the fourth quarter. That's all we can do. But I feel good about this game.
Doc, thank you.
Thank you.
Don't mention any of that stuff in our huddle, right? Good point, though, Heather. This is a Boston team that has been plagued by this. And, Hubie, it's important to watch because the starters are playing more minutes. Garnett, Pierce already 28 and 30 minutes. Will they have gas in the tank in the fourth quarter?
Well, the execution, that's been the problem all year. Turnovers in the fourth quarter and their inability to execute. But let's give them a lot of credit defensively. They are second in the league in forcing turnovers. Right now, Miami has 16 turnovers, and we just started the fourth quarter. They are fourth in the league with only 13 a game. Also, 9 steals by Boston. Come on, that's a ton.
Haslam, Rondo got in his way. Glenn Davis comes over for the rebound. Rasheed Wallace, Paul Pierce, and Tony Allen join those two.
Yeah, this guy's got a bounce. He's got a lot of bounce going right now.
Haslam gets the rebound, working with Jermaine O'Neal, Jarrell Wright. There were no front court points from the Heat as a team in the third quarter. Mario Chalmers and Carlos Arroyo, the backcourt. Right baseline drive, good athletic finish by the 24-year-old Jarrell Wright out of Lawndale, California.
Yeah, they need that, Mike, to come out of the corners. You got to get the unexpected scores right now. They were looking for a pick and roll, Boston. No, instead the player drove baseline. Great move.
See the importance historically of game one. Essentially 4 out of 5 in the best of 7. You win game one, you get the series. Rondo lost it into the waiting arms of Haslam. Boston lost game one of both of their playoff series last year to Chicago. And remember, they won that in 7. And then to Orlando, where they lost game 1 and game 7 in this building. But no Garnett in the playoffs last year.
All right, you got to get going here.
3 for Chalmers is long, rebounded by Allen.
Allen has been doing a terrific job.
Nobody stopped the ball, and he continues to be. Tony Allen, both ends on the stat sheet and off, has been big tonight.
Well, come on, he's got 12 points, Mike. He's 6 for 8 from the field. He was doing an excellent job guarding Wade. That's why Ray Allen did not get the time.
Arroyo gave up his dribble.
They're getting into their stuff too late.
And a turnover. Nope, it's deflected out by Boston. Paul Pierce can't believe it. Ed Malloy with the call on the baseline. It'll stay down here. 4 to shoot for Miami. Ray Allen in, Paul Pierce out. One thing I always like to watch, especially in the playoffs, let's watch this deflection, Hubie. Pierce got a finger on it. Wright did not. So Ed Malloy was on it. Chalmers knows the clock. Use the window. Haslam the rebound. Chalmers and Davis fight for it. That's going to go the other way. Chalmers called for the foul. And I was just going to say, one of the things, especially in the playoffs that we've been watching over the years, team fouls in the fourth quarter.
Big.
It's always huge getting the other team in the bonus.
Excellent point, Mike. Excellent point. And you can see that anytime you have Chalmers in there, Chalmers and Wade together, last year, 2 of them were in the top 10 in steals. So they're constantly grabbing, and you have to be awake, Mike, in the backcourt. That's when they'll go after you.
Boston's last lead was 32-31, the 8-minute mark of the second. Ray Allen hasn't hit a 3 all game. Rondo gets fouled, and that's 2 team fouls on Miami here in the first 2:20 of the quarter.
Rondo has really just taken his time here in this game. He's not forcing anything. 3 for 6 from the field. He has 8 assists, but he has really picked and choose about when to drive and when to try to get into the paint.
Improving free throw shooter makes the first. Tomorrow on ABC, Kevin Durant and Oklahoma City take on the Lakers. Oklahoma City playoff debut, game 1. The 3-game one, Charlotte, Orlando, San Antonio, Dallas, Portland, Phoenix. Our friends at TNT will start their tripleheader. NBA TV, Milwaukee and Atlanta, Portland and Phoenix, game 2s of that series on Tuesday night. And coming up next, game 1 in the West as the Jazz take on the Nuggets.
Oh, off the foot.
Confirming another turnover for Miami. That's 17.
You have to admit, this is incredible what we're seeing, because they are the 4th best team in the league in fewest turnovers, only 13 a game. And it's all happening now without really great defense. The Celtics are cutting them off, but they're not really forcing the turnover.
Davis at the rim, counted in a foul, and the Celtics take the lead.
He needed that because he's had a lot of opportunities close to the basket. Now he's 1 for 4. It was a strong move.
Jermaine O'Neal called for the foul. It's his 4th. 3rd team foul on the Heat. The 8-minute mark of the second quarter, the last time the Celtics led. And they lead by 3. And Miami's going to take a timeout, and they're happy about it in Beantown. Just a short time ago, the Celtics were down 61-47. It's been 24-7 since, and everybody's contributed on both ends for the Celtics. The 4 seed on top by 3 in game 1.
Here's second half.
Fouls called on Rondo. Boston wanted it on Wade for the push back, but Rondo made the contact first. Team fouls here in the quarter, 3 Miami, 2 Boston. Only 3 minutes in, we're gonna have a lot of free throws here in the 4th. Tony Allen, primary defense on Wade. Big Baby was helping. A nice slip by Haslam, but he couldn't finish.
Once again, no foul. All right, never getting to the line. They can't complete the shot. So it's a combination of 2 things.
Rasheed Wallace came down, caused all that contact, and Haslam's the one who says, really? It's on me? It is, and it's his 3rd.
Well, right now, you see Eric Spoelstra's over there. He's pleading his case, but unfortunately, deaf ears.
4 fouls on Jermaine O'Neal and Chalmers. They have the most personals. Nobody in Boston has more than 2.
Good block.
As Rondo tossed it up toward the top. Good defense by Miami.
They didn't go for that sucker move that he likes to. He gives you the fake that he's going behind his back and he keeps it, but they played that perfectly.
Wade had 9 early part of the 3rd, has not scored since.
The entire game, Mike, has been played about outside the foul line area with the clock. Here it is again.
Jermaine O'Neal 2 over his former Portland teammate, Rasheed Wallace, who plays good defense, and it's a shot clock violation.
I'd like to see them go back into going to O'Neal, even though he's had a tough day. Still, you get the post up, it will force them to double team. Also, let's see more movement from the foul line down where you're attacking him in that area.
But your point was great. They get to him so late, he can't put any moves on. He's just
absolutely.
And that's the defense that's happening across midcourt. Allen a catch and shoot. Davis the rebound.
Well, the bench has really stepped up here. That's 22 points now for the Boston bench. And everyone was questioned, can they make a contribution? Well, they only have 73. 22 is pretty good.
Udonis, Haslam. Nothing going on for Miami. Rondo on the push. Tony Allen and Big Baby went up for it at the same time.
That was played perfectly by Jermaine O'Neal.
Wade to Haslam. He missed the alley-oop.
Oh, my.
And on the other end, it is Rondo. Ray Allen to Tony Allen, 2. Darrell Wright and Tony Allen and Davis battle. It'll be Miami ball.
That's one of the very few misses by Tony Allen. Keep an eye right here on this lob. This is Haslam missing. This is a guy who's a sure type of a player for you. Unfortunately, they just cannot get anything going from the offensive end. They're up now over 11 minutes, and it's been a major struggle.
Coming up next, game 1 in the West. That's the 4-5 matchup out there as J.R. Smith and Denver have home court because Utah lost at Phoenix in the final game of the regular season. So game 1 coming up in the Pepsi Center next here on ESPN. Earlier today, Cleveland and Chicago. It was Cleveland at home easily. Game 2 won by Atlanta.
Have you noticed now, Tony Allen is all over Wade and he gets double teamed if he gets past him.
Haslam somehow comes out of there with a rebound.
You got to shoot it.
Chalmers. Rebound by Davis. Miami cannot buy a hoop.
But the defense has just been outstanding.
Rasheed Wallace inside, blocked by Haslam, but a foul. A foul that will put Miami over the limit with 6:43 to go.
Once again, Rajon Rondo now, he's really opened up in the second half. By taking it down on the baseline area, he makes great decisions. Right here, he sucks up the defense, and he's going to hit Wallace. If Wallace wasn't open, the ball would have gone to the opposite corner, and they would have had a wide-open shot in the corner. Rondo is making excellent decisions here in the second half.
The Red Sox, who lost the completion of their suspended game tonight, and they're down 4-0 last look in the regularly scheduled game. ESPNBoston.com also has a sports center just for you, the Boston fan. Rasheed splits the pair. The Celtics have scored the last 10. Again, this game was 61-47 Miami about 12 minutes ago. At the 7-minute mark of the third, Wade gets inside. Blocking foul. Danny Ainge is up right behind the stanchion. He was up quicker than Doc Rivers was, the executive director of basketball operations for Boston.
Now, that was a great move by Wade. A great move going to the basket.
Is he in the circle?
Now, is he in the circle?
That's the question on that one.
That's the big question, because he was definitely there. And that's why the people on the baseline were so upset.
Got himself easily out of the circle there. Wade comes to the line, hasn't scored in a quarter. Still hasn't. 12.5 minutes without a Wade point.
Now, this has been difficult because the body language has changed from Miami. Unfortunately for them, also when they look at this, Mike, on the video breakdown tomorrow, they're going to see too long making their movement out of the offense to look for their first and second options.
I laughed because in the most predictable thing on the planet, as soon as he missed the free throw, Rasheed Wallace, ball don't lie, every time. It's like taxes on April 15th and the marathon the Monday after. Inside, Tony Allen again. What a game for Tony Allen. 7 of 10 from the field. He has 14.
Well, everyone here in Boston was questioning whether Tony Allen or Rondo would even play today.
Right.
And both of them have had outstanding games.
Beasley, great job with his body to get around Glenn Davis. And he's still back caught amongst the photographers. It's 5-on-4 until he hustles in. And there he is.
Well, he's got to get going in this series. Forget about today, but the rest of this series, they need more out of Beasley.
Good battle on the box with Haslam and Rasheed as we're under 6, and the lead is 5 for Boston. Rondo. Surrounded by Wade. Quiet night for Rondo, shooting 3 of 9, but he has 10 assists.
You get a score here, you're fine. Oh, my.
And a travel is called on Quentin Richardson as the defense flies at him.
Bad mistake. Bad mistake. You're wide open. It's got to be a catch and a shot.
Boston's defense has turned it around here in the second half. Wow, that Mets game in the top of the 19th, it said down there? Oh, my goodness. Wow. Utah, Denver. Game 4 of our quadruple header on ABC and ESPN on the opening night of the 2010 playoffs. The president of the Miami Heat, Pat Riley, a couple of years removed from coaching this Miami team. He has watched this version of the Heat struggle in the late third and early fourth quarter as Hubie Brown, the defense, has picked it up for Boston.
Yeah, just watch the closeout right here, and then the rotation. Just beautiful. Also, get up on the glass. Now, this is just timed it perfectly. They get a shot block, and then the kick out. Here was a killer. That was a killer because that could have broke a string. Then they also get Wade to throw an air ball right there. Here, now just watch off the foot. Now the kick to the corner. This is a wide open 3 for a guy who's having a good game. He was 3 for 5, but he was not ready to make the catch to take the shot.
Most of that fourth quarter defense coming without the presence of Kevin Garnett, who has returned to the lineup for Boston. It's Garnett, big baby Glenn Davis is the bigs up front. Tony Allen, Ray Allen, and Rondo. And at the timeout, the set play to KG for the right hand dunk.
Well, they're very small out there right now. With Haslam as the center and Beasley at your power forward, you can attack the rim.
And Arroyo, Wade, and Richardson on the perimeter. They've been coming to double Wade every time he gets inside the three-point line. It's a pitch to Richardson. Missed the 3. Oh, they let the ball hit the ground. Rondo with the push.
They're doing a great job on Wade, and that means Tony Allen. If he gets a half a shoulder ahead, the next man is right there. They're not allowing Wade to get anywhere near the painted area.
Ray Allen to Garnett. Back to Ray. He's been cold here tonight. Ray Allen 2 of 9. Rondo 3 of 9. Yet Boston is leading by 7. And where in the world will Miami get some offense?
Well, there's not enough screens and there's not enough movement. Everything is pick and pop. And it's outside, if you know.
The ball doesn't get inside the arc?
That's right. Everyone's outside the painted area. There's no threat down in deep.
Beasley throws up a brick. Rondo with a save. The Heat are 4 of their last 24 from the field. Right at the 61-47 point of this game, Boston decided to click the defense back to 2 years ago.
Mike, I would like to see Miami get the ball down in the painted area to Beasley and see what he could do down in the post-up area, either man-to-man or double teaming.
That's a shot clock violation. Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett turned down open shots at the back end of the shot clock, and that drives Doc Rivers nuts.
Well, they're second in the league in assists, and we keep saying they continue to make the second and sometimes the third pass.
But we're fans.
Sometimes it's to the detriment of the team.
We're fans.
Okay.
We want it all.
That's right.
We want you to share the ball until it's your shot, right?
But I just can't underline Tony Allen enough, Mike. Not only does he have the 14 points, but his defense on the ball on Dwayne Wade has been exceptional in this second half.
We have played 8.5 of this fourth quarter, and Miami scored 5 points. Carlos Arroyo to Beasley. Wade tried to crash the glass, and it's going to go the other way. Trying to force the ball through the hole. Wade picks up the foul over the back.
Well, there's no doubt about it. Dwayne is definitely frustrated. There's no doubt about it. You're going to see him come right up over the top. Easy call, loose ball foul. No doubt about it. Now, Dwayne Wade has not had a field goal in almost 16 minutes. And when you think about that, that's great individual defense. And then even if he does get ahead, great team defense.
Especially after Wade was so good in the first half of that third quarter. He scored 9 points, helped them build that 61-47 advantage. And from that point, it's 31-10 Boston. Glenn Davis rattled it out. He'll get one more. Looks like a nice day in Denver as the fans come on into the Pepsi Center. That place will be rocking. Game 1, Utah-Denver. Like this, a 4-5 series. A series that figures to have a couple of road trips and 5, 6, maybe 7 games. That's next on ESPN.
Without any post-up threat or without anybody posting up to see if they'll play you man-to-man in the post, you're making it easy for the defense of the Celtics by just playing almost a zone, everyone outside the painted area, and 2 on the ball.
This is the largest Boston lead at the 3-minute mark. Again, the ball not inside the 3-point arc until now. Beasley on the take, right at Pierce, took it in the chops. Offensive foul, Miami.
You can play this way and get maximum results if you can beat the man off the dribble, or when you come off the pick and roll or pick and pops that the guy coming off can take. Here it is right here. Excellent call. Right in the chest. Good team defense. Take the charge.
You think these guys are grinding through this game? Danny Ainge and Pat Riley. It's probably harder on them than when they were playing and coaching in all these big games over the years. The grind of the playoffs just starting. GMC Sierra NBA Countdown, 2:30 Eastern tomorrow on ABC. And then Kevin Durant plays his first playoff game. The league scoring champ against the Lakers begins day 2 of the playoffs. Here on day 1, LeBron and Cleveland were solid. Shaq looked trim and fit and looked right back in the flow. Atlanta controlled that game, a big lead. Brandon Jennings, the rookie, had a terrific game for Milwaukee, but not enough. And Utah-Denver, the 5-4 series in the West, comes up next. This is the 5-4 series in the East with Game 2 Tuesday night on TNT before we go to Miami for Game 3 Friday and Game 4 on Sunday on ABC. Miami needs stops. Their offense has stalled. Tony Allen to Davis inside. Missed it. Richardson did a nice job with paint defense.
Now, the big thing right now, Miami is 4 for 25 in the last 16 minutes, plus 7 turnovers. So they're 4 for 32. Just think about that a second.
Here is Wade for 3. Halfway down. Dwayne thought that one was going. 2:20 to go, and still Hubie with that horrific stretch. It's within reach.
Absolutely. They just need to get another stop. Now, if that would have gone down, Mike, they're only down 8. Big thing right now is just keep playing with your heart. Get them to shoot low percentage shots and hold the Celtics to one shot.
No Ray Allen on the floor because of Tony's defense. Here's Pierce at the back end of the clock. Big battle for the rebound. Rondo has it, and let's see, what do we have? Timeout, Boston. Able to get the timeout as Rajon Rondo went up to get his 5th rebound.
Well, Rajon Rondo, one of the best rebounding guards that we have in the league. How about that? Not bad for a point guard who puts his nose in there with the big people.
Inside of 2, Boston leads by 8. Hard to believe a short time ago they were down 14 in the 3rd quarter, and QB, the Celtics won that title in 08 because of their defense, and that kind of defense has really gotten them back in this game.
Well, they've been looking for this for months,
That's right.
especially in the 4th quarter, and we're seeing it here today. This is going to energize not only the city and the fans in this building, but also the team, because they're showing that they can do it. The other people have got to really question the offensive strategy that they've been trying to run here during this quarter.
You see the points here in the 3rd. In the 4th, I beg your pardon. Rondo all the way. Big basket to make it a 10-point lead and a steal by Tony Allen. Going right back at him. Rebounded by Wade.
2 guys, think about it. Rondo's already played over 41 minutes. He and Tony Allen have been so big in this game.
Yep. Chalmers around Rondo. Wade cuts to the basket. Good job to get Wade coming off of something to get him flowing to the goal.
Well, that's one of the very few times you saw the penetration off the dribble and then the movement from the opposite side, which was so beneficial for them in the 1st half.
Chalmers is playing the point. Rondo with a runner. We got nothing. No, before that, we ain't going to go the other way.
They've been giving the charge at both ends.
Now, Garnett for the screen there.
Yeah, right now, you know, the Boston staff is upset, but come on, they've picked up a couple at the other end for themselves. Now, the people are all upset. It depends upon your angle that the official had on the play.
This is a big stop on the turnover and the call if Miami can score. It's Wade. It's a 5-point game at 81-75.
Plenty of time. Here you are. Once again now, right at the top, we kept telling you, 2 excellent defensive teams playing one another. This is the type of game you expected. Now, this is where Pierce excelled.
Guarded by Richardson. Switch with Haslam. 4 to shoot.
The referees are trying to straighten it out, A, with the table, and then B, with both coaches. Both coaches are still standing there. How many foul shots, or is there, or if we are, then how many?
I just reconfirmed that it was 2 technicals on Garnett to get him tossed. 2 separate technicals. And it should be 1 free throw down here, and then Miami ball, if I'm correct. Yeah, it is. All right, it's one free throw, and then Miami ball, because the last play was the shot clock violation on this end.
That's right.
So this to make it a 5-point game. Wade, a 76% shooter. Rattles it in. Miami ball, 5-point game, 40 seconds left. Fans want Wade to get a tee for that.
You get a score right now, Mike, and you are going to be more than 24 seconds. And by me, more than 24 seconds, all you need is a defensive stop if you're Miami. Right now, Boston is out of timeouts, and Boston has 1 foul to give. Miami has 1 full and 1:20. Very important.
And Eric Spoelstra, Ron Rothstein, who was the first ever coach for the Miami Heat and is still an assistant here with Miami, just said to Eric Spoelstra, we have 2 timeouts. Let's take one of those timeouts. That means Miami will be able to advance the ball to the front court with 40 seconds left. They don't have to take it out back there. They'll advance it up here. So there's your game reset with 1 timeout left for Miami. Boston's foul to give. Meantime, as mentioned, ESPN3.com, our online service that was ESPN360.com, now ESPN3.com. We have the Nuggets and the Jazz. That game underway, 4 minutes in, first quarter, and tied at 11 as that series gets underway. Hubie, what are your thoughts on that Jazz-Nuggets series? We talked about, obviously, George Karl still not being there for Denver. And on the Utah side, 2 weeks, likely the series maybe, Andre Kirilenko out.
Well, unfortunately, we have key people out. And Kenyon Martin is playing with a bad leg. We have Kirilenko out for Utah. But it's going to be an exciting series, mainly because both teams can score and both teams get up and down the floor well. Good inside game for Utah, good three-point and open court game for Denver.
Quick here, you don't need a three, correct?
No, absolutely. The main thing is to get a quick score. A quick score and then good defense, understanding that Boston is out of timeouts.
And Boston has a foul to give.
Make the clock work in your favor. Make sure that there's over 30 seconds to go after you score.
Chalmers has to get it in. He does to Wade. Wade trying to get past Tony Allen. Pulls up. Rimmed it out. Quentin Richardson a hand on it. Glenn Davis the rebound, and he was fouled. Fouled by Haslam. That's his 5th. He'll take it down the other way with free throws for Davis, a 70% shooter.
Now, that was a very difficult angle on the shot by Wade. Almost went down, but give Glenn Davis a lot of credit. He attacked that rebound that time, and he's come up now with 7 key rebounds, the majority of them in this quarter.
Big contributions from Tony Allen, Glenn Davis for Boston here in this big comeback. If you're just joining us, the Celtics were down 61-47 at the 7-minute mark of the third quarter.
Now, the Celtics are all small right now defensively. You have Allen and Rondo, and then you have Pierce and Allen in the game. 2 Allens, and then Baby Davis to match up.
Miami has 1 timeout. 5-point game. Davis splits the pair. And Eric Spoelstra will take his final timeout. 82-76. Now the strategy, Hubie, when you don't have a timeout and it's a 6-point game with just under 34 seconds left, does it change your thought on taking a 3 here?
Every guy has his own way, but right now he's got to go for a 3. You've got to go for the 3, and then understand Celtics cannot call a timeout. So you pick them up full court. You go for the steal. If you do not get the steal, you foul immediately, and don't be worrying about who you're fouling. We know that right now Ray Allen is on the floor, Paul Pierce is on the floor, high percentage guys. Don't worry, just foul because it comes down to clock management right now. But you've got to score a 3.
Okay, we remind you as soon as we're done, we'll send you to Denver for the Nuggets and Jazz, and then tomorrow on ABC, Day 2. This is just day 1 of the playoffs, folks. Day 2 starts at the pregame 2:30 Eastern. Then the Thunder and the Lakers. It is the first playoff game for Kevin Durant in Oklahoma City against Kobe Bryant and the Lakers, who stumbled towards the end of the season, trying to get their pieces back. Good news for them. Andrew Bynum practiced for LA today. As you look at some of the significant storylines, Oklahoma City made that playoff appearance when they were the Seattle Supersonics 5 years ago.
Main thing for the Lakers right now, in my opinion, A, how many minutes can Bynum play for you? And then B, Kobe Bryant, the knee, can he have the lift? And then also the finger, can he shoot a high percentage? And also, we all know that Durant will be contested by Ron Artest in this series, and it'll be an interesting matchup as they move through the playoffs.
Denver leads 21-19 over Utah as that game's in the first quarter. What a great sports day. Hockey overtimes, that Mets game in 20 innings, a no-hitter. Can the Heat come back? Wade at the top. Gets it back for Darrell Wright's 3. Short. Well defended by Ray Allen, and Davis is fouled with 28.6 to go.
Now, good defense. In a situation like that, they played it perfectly. They ran a lot of continuity. They brought Wade up the middle of the floor, and the key was for the man out of bounds. They played it perfectly. They stayed out at home because we all know the most dangerous guy is the guy out of bounds. Pass came in. They stayed with him, forced up a shot, which was short. Once again, Glenn Davis gets the key rebound, and now he's on the foul line again.
Now, people might be saying, well, Darrell Wright, you're letting him take the 3 in the big spot. He was a 39% shooter, 33rd ranked in the league this year. So he's a good 3-point shooter, but obviously in the pressure situations of a playoff game. You'd like to see Wade take that shot more times than not.
Yeah, but he didn't have it. And he didn't have it, and he wasn't going to force it. So they went back to the guy out of bounds. Now, Glenn Davis has had some quarter. 7 rebounds, and also, he's a nice foul shooter. You foul him, you got a shot.
You split the pair 3 times, rebound by Wade. Miami used all their timeouts. They get it out of Wade's hand, and that's the quarter in a microcosm. Tony Allen to Rondo, brilliant thought, pull it out, and Boston is golden right now. Quentin Richardson the foul. 22 turnovers by Miami. And Boston's terrific second-half defense, the headlines of Game 1.
One constant all year for the Boston Celtics, which was a major plus. They were second in the league in steals and second in the league in forced turnovers. And when the defense stepped up in the second half, that's what it was all about. Forcing turnovers and then also stealing the basketball. Just a great display of 5 guys on a string. Love the strategy of Doc Rivers staying with Tony Allen throughout all of these crucial minutes in the second half to stay on Wade and make it difficult for him to get to the rim.
And then the next question will be, are there any further penalties from the Garnett ejection? That will be decided in the league office over the next day or so. Wade with the miss, rebound by Rondo, and just kind of take it over midcourt, and that will do it. What a story for Miami offensively in the second half. They scored 15 points in the last 19 minutes of the game. The Celtics rally from down 14, their second best comeback of this 2010 season, and they walk away with an 85-76 victory. Miami just 4 of 21 from the field in the fourth quarter. Here's Heather with Paul Pierce.
Mike, thank you. Paul, with about 40 seconds left, you went down in front of the Miami bench. What happened to your shoulder?
It got hit. It's an incident that happened earlier in the year where I had a pinched nerve in there and it kind of numbed my arm up. You know, it's just a hitter. I don't know really what to call it. So it just numbed up for a second and then I got right back up. It happened like 3 times already this season, so it'll be all right.
Now, I know you were on the ground, but what was said that ignited the argument after that injury?
I really don't know. I was asking the guys, you know, what went on, but that's just the sparks of a playoff that's starting up, and, you know, it's going to be a good one. You know, both teams want to win, and that's what happens sometimes.
Paul, you had 1 field goal attempt in the entire second quarter. Then you came alive. How did your mentality change in that second half?
I just told the coaches.
Give me the ball.
Yeah, you know, wanted to be more involved, you know, so I got the balls, just being more aggressive, getting to the basket, finding my shot, and, you know, it really opened up things, and we really got going in the third and fourth quarter.
As a team, what can you guys learn from tonight that will help you in the rest of the series?
We got to rebound the ball a lot better. I like the way we defend and turn them over, but we got to start off better. We can't get down 10, 15 points early. We got to come out from the start.
Paul, congrats on the win. Mike and Hubie?
Thank you, Heather. Miami scored 10 points in the fourth. They had 6 turnovers, 4